everybody? Welcome to another weekly Wednesday live stream.
Welcome.
I'm Peter.
My name's Eric.
Everybody knows Eric.
Everybody knows Peter.
Yeah, I also saw somebody asking in the chat already because we named the stream playing it on the big screen, big QD-OLED screen. How big? This big. And
yeah, it's
basically you're only seeing not even half, I would say. So
it's a big one.
It's pretty big. Yeah. It's 32-inch ultra wide, so yeah, it's big. Anyway, and it looks glorious. So we've done a live stream about it, by the way, in the past. So if you want to know more about it, you can check that. But today's live stream is all about Total War Pharaoh, which is a game that came out very recently. We have a bundle with it at the moment as well, which we will highlight later on during the live stream as well. And actually, we're able to give away a couple of keys for the game itself, so you can actually win those today. All you have to do is head over to msi.com/2/insider and click on the link that says giveaway, or alternatively, if everything has been done correctly, in the chat on YouTube and Twitch. Every 5 minutes we have a Stream Elements bot that will
sound is a bit low.
Oh, that will send the. Oh, is it my sound? Maybe that's low. Yeah, my mic seems to be working. Yeah, it is a bit low. Normally it goes way further to into that territory. I don't know.
I'll just do like this, Peter.
Oh, okay. Well, Eric's in charge of the setup. So
that's the problem.
You guys know what that means.
Yeah.
Right? for people who are familiar with our live stream, that means it's.
I pumped up the volume.
Yeah, well, at least, yeah. But it looks lower than normal. Yeah, you're right. So maybe somebody touched the mixer. I don't know.
Am I allowed to touch it today?
No, not you.
Oh.
Anybody but you.
Okay.
In Eric we trust.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement right there.
Don't do that.
All right. Anyway, I hope it's okay for now. Is this better? Let us know.
It's the best it can get.
Well, at least without messing with more settings, indeed.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, alternatively, in the chat on YouTube and Twitch, every 5 minutes, our Stream Elements bot should be posting the giveaway link as well. So that's how you can find it. And of course, why I'm saying that it's only on those two platforms is because we are streaming on a lot of different platforms, of course. So it could be that you're watching on Facebook, Twitter. I'm not calling it X. I'm not. I refuse. Or TikTok as well, right?
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah.
So we're streaming on multiple platforms at the same time. So yeah, if you are watching on one of those platforms that I just mentioned, and you still want to participate in the giveaway, probably best to head on over to Twitch or YouTube as well, because there in the chat you will find the link to the giveaway. Eric's lost the screws of the volume. Yeah. Well, he screwed something. That's definitely right. It's just about okay. All right. Well, we'll make do with that. Yeah. Anyway, right. So having gotten that out of the way, we also have a very special guest joining us today, because we actually have Todor Nikolov, who is the game director for Total War Pharaoh, who was kind enough to join us for this live stream. So let's see if we can pull him up on the screen, and I'll put on a headset so I can also hear him.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello everyone, I'm Todor, the game director of Total War Pharaoh. I'm very glad to be here. Hopefully you can hear me. Perhaps you can see me too.
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
You should be visible indeed, but let's check it. Eric, can you check the feed below in the OBS as well to see if there's if his sound is showing?
His audio is showing.
Yeah, it is moving. So,
so you can see my sound.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Guys, if you have any audio problems in the chat, let us know. Then we will adjust the audio mix.
Yeah.
My job today.
Yes. Yeah. I see somebody already talking. We can hear and nice beard. So you're already getting compliments.
Thank you.
We might ask some questions about that later. But
yeah,
let's
length,
start at
about
the beginning.
Length.
Perhaps maybe talk about who you are and what you do at Creative Assembly.
Sure. As I mentioned, I'm the game director of Total War Pharaoh, and my job was basically to outline the basic concept and the core ideas of the game. and then make sure that they take place, that they happen, that we release on time the game in the best possible way. It involved talking to a lot of people, making sure that they're aligned, and all kind of things that right now I wonder how I went through this.
Well,
But
it sounds
It's not
like
that you
yeah,
that you
sorry.
need to play the whole day the game to test.
no,
Aw.
unfortunately, I had much less time devoted to playing the game than I actually wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And how does it start, this kind of game? I mean, somebody at the moment says, okay, we're going to work on a new game. And then, okay, it will be like a Total War title. And then how do you come up with the team? Like this time it's Pharaoh. You had a lot of different, time.
Yeah, Troy was one of the recent ones. The Kingdoms, Thrones of Britannia, Shogun, of course. That's what it all started with, right? And there was a second one, and so, yeah. How is the theme decided? Is there like a vote in the company? Is it?
well, we wanted to make a game about ancient Egypt because there was no Total War title devoted to ancient Egypt. Like ancient Egypt is present in some of the historical titles, like for example the games about Rome, Rome 1 and Rome 2.
Yeah.
But it was an Egypt from a much later period where it was dominated by Greek dynasties, and we wanted to develop a game about the Bronze Age Egypt, the new kingdom, where Egypt is this almighty empire. And according to research that we conducted amongst our users, it was one of the preferred settings for such a game. After that, we set out to pinpoint the exact time period because before working on the game, I had very vague idea about ancient Egyptian history. I knew that there were pyramids and the aliens built them likely.
Yeah.
There were cats, and the desert is their litter box, etc. But defining the period for a Total War title is a very, very interesting time during development, because this is the time where you have all of the opportunities, but you need to find the exact period in time which fits what you want to achieve.
Yes.
And you want to have a Total War game. A bit of context about what a Total War game is.
Yeah, I was going to ask, for those who don't know, maybe what is a Total War game? What characterizes it?
Exactly. Well, first of all, these are actually two games in a single package. You have a turn-based grand strategy where you have a map of a region or a continent somewhere in the world divided into regions, and you build armies and you conquer these regions, and you build more armies and you conquer more. So you expand across the map, and you have the real-time tactical battles where you control your army fighting against an enemy army, and perhaps you are invading them, perhaps they're invading you, and you have to defend. But the battles are real time, and you control units that act like real people would. We're trying to recreate battlefields from points of history or from fantastic worlds, because there are 3 games of Total War with the world of Warhammer. So in order to have this game, you need to have a period which has conflict. So conflict as multi-sided as possible would be best, and this is one of the main reasons which pointed us towards making a game about the late Bronze Age and the collapse of the Bronze Age. In this part of the world, like Egypt and the modern Middle East and Greece, like the Eastern Mediterranean and the Aegean, the Bronze Age, which collapsed about 1200 BCE, roughly around that period, and it was likely very violent. We don't exactly understand how it collapsed. There were a number of factors that contributed to this complicated network of civilizations that interacted with each other and occasionally waged wars or conducted trade or diplomacy. They had achieved kind of global society, which is not very different from the world today. but this all collapsed in a matter of several decades.
Yeah.
And we decided that we want to try and turn this into a Total War game.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I
It's a
see
very
some
interesting
questions in the
time
chat.
period.
Skeets is a big fan. He say, did you also work on Troy or the Three Kingdoms?
Yes, I worked on Troy. I was the lead game designer on Troy.
Oh,
Okay, what's the difference between game director and lead designer?
Well, a game director usually has more overview of the entire project, so there are many more things to consider. While while a lead designer is someone who is focused specifically on the gameplay, if that makes sense.
Is it more like the gameplay, or is it also like the art direction? Because a large part of the Total War series and the games that I've played there is also like the atmosphere you create, right? I mean, if you're in the Shogun games, you know, they will be, you know, like the soundtrack and all the art style, everything really puts you in that theme, in that frame of mind of the game and that period. Same with Pharaoh, of course. I mean, yeah, it does really a really good job of putting you in that time frame. Is that also part of it, or is that?
Luckily, nobody relies on me for art direction.
No.
We have an art director that takes care of that.
Right.
I would contribute, for example, for Pharaoh, I would contribute with sort of the initial idea of what we need to represent in the game, and then the artists would take over. They're masters at their craft, so it really makes very little sense for me to get in their way. But for example, one of the things that I really wanted to showcase in the game was the collapse of the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
So this is why we have 3 different states in the world, which shows visually show the player whether they're currently in the time of prosperity of the Bronze Age, or are they in the time of crisis where the world is getting kind of shaky and all is the visuals are different. They're much foggier, as if though there's a pending desert storm coming.
Yeah.
Or perhaps they have reached to the bottom of stability, to the collapse of the Bronze Age, and the world is around them is much darker and apocalyptic.
Yeah.
So in this particular case, I outlined that this is the direction that we want to go, and then the artists took over and made something exceptionally beautiful.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I agree.
Like I said before, I never played Total War, and maybe I'm sorry for that, because Peter showed me a bit.
No, you're missing out. I mean, you should be sorry for yourself.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah. No, what I want to ask, I mean, each of those games is playing in a different time area. Are there links between the games, like gimmicks or like memes or something which always
like Easter eggs.
returns?
Well, we're trying to put Easter eggs and jokes
like that
all over the place. Specifically,
Can you spoil one? Maybe.
No, don't spoil one. Do one from an old game.
Name one that's maybe already like everybody knows. It's all over Reddit or something. I don't know. Just an example.
So one of the things that, you mean referencing specifically another game from the Total War series?
Yeah, something like that. I think.
Yeah, or like a recurring joke or something that started in one of the titles and just keeps recurring in subsequent ones that you think, okay, let's just put it in, because when people see it, it will make them smile. They'll be like, I see what they did there.
Usually what we do is we put reference to songs that we like. So if for example like listening to Slayer, you might find quite a few quotes over there. I'm a fan myself. Apart from that, I can't think of anything in specific right now. My mind has gone blank apparently.
Yeah.
Perhaps if someone can remember some of the people who are listening to us and watching us, they can.
Yeah, just let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
So your whole Spotify playlist is in the game.
Egyptified, but yeah.
Seasons in the Abyss,
Okay,
etc.
maybe a different question. How long have you been working at, and how long has your road been? Because as you said, right, in Troy you had a different function. Now I guess you've been promoted as well, so that's great. But how long does it take to kind of get to maybe that level, or how long have you been working there?
I have been working in the game industry for quite a while. I believe something like 13 years, something like that, or slightly more. Can't even remember. For almost half of my career, I have been a QA.
Mm.
So I was, for a few years, I was a QA for mobile games. Then I transferred to the studio of Crytek Black Sea, which was part of Crytek a few years ago. Uh, so I joined Crytek as a QA in the end of 2011. I was a QA for a few years, and then I became a designer. And once we became part of Creative Assembly, we started working on the DLCs for Rome 2, Empire Divided, and the first DLC where I was the lead designer was Rise of the Republic,
Cool.
which added a new campaign to the game and also added a family tree, if I remember correctly. So we did a major update of the game over there.
And QA means quality assurance. So
Yeah,
basically,
exactly.
all the issues you're giving to the devs, and hey, and maybe put priorities there as well, like this we need to fix. And
Sure. Well, during the time where I was an ordinary QA, I would usually just report bugs. Being a quality assurance is a very, very good way for a person to get into the game industry. It's just like this starting level, but it gives you a very good look into the inner workings of a project, and you can take it from there and see what interests you the most. Like a lot of people that are currently in game development have started as
Yeah.
QA. So if anyone is listening and perhaps they're wondering how they can get into the game industry, QA is the way to go.
yeah. So now you're sometimes walking in the department and you talk to the young QA guys. No, you should do like this, or because you know it all.
Our QA are much better QAs than I am. What I do, however, is when I get to play the game that we're working on, I usually spot some bugs. But of course, in 99% of the cases, our QAs have already found them. So I just ask them, "Have we reported that?" Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And have you always wanted to be like, you started in QA with the goal of, becoming maybe a design lead or something at some point, or did you kind of just roll into it? You saw an opportunity, you thought, well, let's try it. How did that go?
I kind of it took me away and dragged me to where I'm here.
Okay.
I wanted to do something creative, and I have personal interest in creative writing, but for some time I have been dealing with writing texts and editing texts, and dealing with localization.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I got to be a design lead, and then again game director, and we'll see what's next.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, talking a little bit about this one, you explained indeed what Total War is indeed, and the concept and how it's unique in the genre, let's say, right? It combines the tactical turn-based, the strategic turn-based with the real-time battles. And the premise of the game you also quite clearly said. What sets this game, so Pharaoh, basically, apart from the other Total War franchise? Because each game, I imagine, you try to do something new, right? You try to innovate a little bit and keep the, let's say, the game fresh. So it's not always like the same, right? The same formula, but you try to add some new things. What is new in this game compared to previous ones?
One of the things that we are going for in Pharaoh is the freedom of the player and the choice that we're giving to the player. Sorry. A feature that we added was the campaign customization options, so that you can tweak various variables in your campaign and thus try to reach the gameplay that you find yourself fun. So you can customize your campaign, and if you want to have a campaign where you just go and conquer the world and just paint the map, you can
map painting mode.
More resources,
right.
Stronger units, etc. There is an aspect of the game where you get invaded by external invaders, the sea peoples, which historically are believed to have contributed in a violent way to the collapse of the Bronze Age. So you get attacked by these armies, but you can make them more powerful in the campaign customizations. You can switch them off. It's a completely different experience depending on how you choose to customize it. And now that we see feedback from players, it's something that we've done good, I believe. We've done well, because sometimes players are, they dislike a certain portion of the game, but once they realize that they have a means to control it, perhaps tone it down, switch it off, or turn it up, they actually find the game enjoyable too, according to what we have been seeing. So it's about player freedom,
right?
And we're looking to further expand the amount of campaign customization options that we're giving. In addition to that, one of the new things is that we are trying to provide the player with that amount of freedom within the campaign itself, where you are not playing this predefined faction that has this nailed specifics and constricted faction mechanics. Instead, you are building your own faction as you proceed towards the campaign. So in your campaign, you can choose different gods that you can worship, and a different set of gods will give you different gameplay. And then you can choose to try and become the Pharaoh of Egypt, join the court of the Pharaoh on different positions that bring you, again, different bonuses. And finally, you are given the choice to try and emulate one of the great rulers of the past that goes even further than the late Bronze Age. Like you can go and build pyramids like Pharaoh Khufu, or perhaps overturn the religious system and create a monotheistic one like the Pharaoh heretic Akhenaten. And your faction is not predefined. It's just we're giving you the blocks. You're building your pyramid of a faction.
Exactly. You can play. You can go the historical route, like you say. You can play what those people, because they are based on. They're not fictional characters, right? They are based on real historical figures. So you can choose to basically do what they did in history, or you can just basically just do your own thing and write your own history. Let's say.
Exactly.
The replayability, that's one of the things I really love about these games, is the replayability is huge, because you can play one campaign, you can play the historical way, and then after that you're like, okay, well, I've done that, now let's do something completely different. And you can, that's one of the real nice things about it, indeed.
You were talking about listening to the users, to the players of the game. How do you get most feedback? Is this like forums, Reddit, or are people also emailing you with, hey, why don't you do this and this in the next version?
Do you have maybe a select, what a lot of companies these
like
times
a test group or something,
have,
like
a community of, let's say, big YouTubers, for example, or, like power users, let's say. We used to have that as well for hardware, right? That people that just know a little bit more about it and not just coming to look for the first time to provide feedback. How do you get your feedback?
To us, feedback is given freely because we can easily see what people are saying on Reddit or other platforms, and we have teams of people that go through the feedback and they organize it and they sift it so that we can prioritize it, and we can then make a decision in regards to where do we spend our resources addressing which part of feedback. In general, we are trying to take into account as much their feedback as possible. I remember that shortly after announcing Pharaoh, we saw feedback in regards to people wanting to see units carrying banners in battle, and we did our best and managed to implement those in the game. People who wanted to see unit cards, these little representations of units in the user interface. They wanted to see them in Egyptian art rather than 3D photographs. So we tried to do that. We did that as well. There is plenty of feedback to be had from all different sources, and a very important source of feedback for us is our QA team. Conducting playthroughs and often pinpoint problems that the designers, for example, are unaware of.
I see a nice comment, by the way, from Philly Nux in Twitch. He was saying, "Thank you for Total War I'm not a Total War player myself, but my son played it from the age of 6, in all capitals. It further sparked his interest in PC gaming, but also history and cultures. Also helped develop an amazing tactical ability in the art of war. So there's somebody who's...
He's now general or something.
Yeah, I don't know indeed.
I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're right. I mean, the thing is that, and one of the things that's a lot of, and it's not just Total War, but a lot of games indeed, but Total War specifically as well, is it contains a lot of, it's usually based on some, apart from Warhammer, which has a different lore, but it's a lot of history as well. So actually, there's a lot that you can learn just from that. And
that's why I regret, Peter, not playing this game, because I love history.
Yeah, me too as well. So that's why it's one of the reasons why I love diving into this, because it just gives you more information about it.
Do you know anything about the game engines? It's maybe a too technical question for you, but are you using an off-the-shelf game engine, or are you having an in-house game engine?
We have an in-house game engine. The Pharaoh is using the modified version of the engine that we used for Troy, and Troy itself is using a modified version of the Warhammer 2 engine.
Yeah, so it keeps evolving.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Maybe there's a more personal question. What do you like most about the game? What is your favorite feature, mechanic, faction, unit? What is your, if you had to pick, I know it's probably difficult, especially when you're that deep into it and you're calling the shots, but what is the thing you are most proud of, most happy with?
One of the things that I personally very much like, and I could go into some detail about why, but I'll just share what it is. So in the game, you have characters that lead armies. These are your generals, and in battles, in battle, these generals are not fighting on their own. They have a bodyguard unit around them, like about 100 people. So what we made Pharaoh is, depending on the equipment that you put on your general, the unit type of their bodyguard changes. And this is extremely entertaining for me, and I find it really amazing, the fact that, well, I equip my general with a bow, and their unit is now a bowman.
Yeah.
So in some cases, I need to put on my bow or my spear, or I need to get on my chariot, etc. When I explain like that, it's not really groundbreaking, but I really really love the ability to be able to crush my enemies in exactly the way that I prefer.
It becomes like a Swiss Army knife, right? You can put them in any role. Okay, yeah.
Something like that, with some restrictions, of course, but it's another little portion of freedom over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I noticed it. I played the game a bit indeed, but I was focused on, okay, let's put the best possible gear on him. But then I already saw, like, I had the, like, medium, I think it was medium armor or something he had on, and then I got the chariot, and I thought, yeah, let's put him on a chariot. And then it said, you can't do that because it's incompatible with the armor. And I'm like, okay, so you kind of have to play around with it a little bit. And now you said that, it kind of comes together and be like, actually, that makes a lot, depending on the battle you're doing, probably you want to switch a couple of things around to optimize it for that setting. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
If you have to defend a choke point or something like that, sometimes it makes sense just to put a spear and a heavy shield if you have them, and then hold the enemies back while you try to flank them from somewhere else, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Game tactics.
Yeah, that's
cool. Maybe a question you don't want to answer. Skeets, a big fan, he is saying, is there any chance we get DLC that expands the map of Africa for this game? Maybe too early question?
Yeah, right now we are ironing out the details of the DLCs for the game. So there is nothing in particular that I can share.
Okay, you have a request, Africa. Needs to be big.
This is another piece of feedback that we are aware of.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, then maybe also towards a little bit more hardware related, because obviously that's the link that we have. So with the pretty much unlimited amount of, especially when it comes to PC, it's pretty much unlimited amount of combinations of hardware, right, that you have to account for. And you've been QA, you say. So how do you even go about ensuring that it will run, let alone stable, let alone have a consistent experience? Because in the end, you want everybody to have like at least a fairly consistent experience, right? How do you even do that?
Well, it's a lengthy process to make sure that the game is stable and the performance is up to standard. So, and this is having in mind the different graphic features and the different settings. Basically, what we do is we have a big pool of machines with all kinds of hardware configurations.
Okay.
And we are running benchmarks of those at a nightly basis. And in this way, we can monitor the performance of the game over time on a significant range of hardware. And we can see the effects on the different range of hardware, the effects of all optimizations and all the changes. Particularly with regards to stability, we're doing something similar. We're using dev machines. They play the game automatically, and in this helps us detect and pinpoint and then fix various rare crashes. This way, we can resolve some issues long before they reach our users.
And like you said, it's a lengthy process. So I'm assuming that means that there, at the beginning or during the process, there are always a lot of things that you encounter that you have to then go about and fix, or is it usually quite smooth sailing? I mean, is there a way? I mean, like you said, right? In Troy, you've worked on it as well. So can you use knowledge or things that you encountered during the QA process of Troy in the next game, or doesn't that really apply?
Well, everything that we do in a project is of use to us in the next project, regardless of what the previous and the next project are.
Right.
Every time we are learning various new things, let's say, new processes about game development, and we're learning new ways to fix our mistakes and avoid them, and we're finding new ways to make new mistakes that we have not encountered so far. Right. So we keep on learning and we keep on failing.
Yeah, but like I said,
it's never really smooth sailing, and I don't think that it's smooth sailing in any kind of game development.
It's something that I think a lot of people take kind of for granted. Like when they buy a game or they play it, like, well, it's supposed to work, duh. But they
it should be
don't
rock
really appreciate
solid
the amount
and no
of work.
bugs and
or they don't appreciate the amount of work that usually goes into it. And as you say, it's probably the bigger the title and the more complex the game, probably the more lengthy the process, because the more things.
And the higher the expectation level.
Yeah, also, true.
And you have a fan base. People are waiting for the game.
True.
Yeah.
So
maybe building on that a little bit.
Peter, maybe I have one question related to this. You talk about benchmark. Is this also why you have a benchmark in the game, or what are the considerations? Because we see some games don't have a benchmark, some have. We like this, of course, because we want to show it on the hardware, how it runs, the FPS. So
we can have a consistent run indeed, that we can basically, if we swap one piece of hardware, we can see the difference. But
between the CPU
all the
or the GPU or the memory.
Yeah. But what is the consideration indeed? Did you put this benchmark in primarily because of your internal QA process, and then you have it anyway, so you decided, okay, let's just give it in the game as well? Or is this something that you always put in the game for a different reason altogether?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure about the exact reason why we keep it in the game, but we have done it for many Total War titles, like even before I joined even the studio. In any case, if it helps the user, like having this this benchmark option in your menu, it's good. It's a good thing to have.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we love it.
Yeah, we love it, and I know
we're doing it for you.
Good
reviewers. I mean, game reviewers, media, they also love it, because that gives them a way, like an easier way to kind of show,
consistent way.
Somewhat what to expect on what level of hardware. So it's for us, it's a godsend. Let's say there's games that don't have it. They're usually way more difficult to kind of at least show what to expect from what level of hardware. And for us, that's always important, right? We want to show. Okay, so say you want to upgrade to a certain graphics card, but what kind of, the thing why they buy it is they're looking for a certain level of performance in games. And so that's really what links it together. And if you can show that, that's a very, it's easier to kind of, for them to make the internal discussion of, okay, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? What can I expect? So.
I hear the Sandstorm puts the maximum load on the graphic cards.
Really?
So there seems to be a sandstorm in the game.
There is a sandstorm, yeah.
We're going to test it.
In the battles, yeah. Please do, and let me know how it was performance-wise afterwards.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, no problem. We've got a pretty beefy PC set up here, so let's
Awesome.
let's just hope it's
Yeah,
okay.
we have a 4090 today, Alan. So don't worry.
Yeah, as
we
long
will
as it
make
doesn't
it-
actually put a sandstorm in the PC, then we should be fine, I think, because the PC usually doesn't do too well with that. So maybe also related to kind of specs and QA, there's always, if you look at games on the Steam page, for example, there will always be like a set of minimum and recommended specs. How do you get to those? Because some games, maybe for a little bit of context, some games, they choose to go like for the maximum attainable, like, and then they become like a meme, right? But
I'm
can
the
it
mod.
run Crysis, right?
I'm
And that's
going to
because they are
negotiate with this guy.
ridiculously demanding, and that means a lot of people probably can't play it, or at least not without their hardware pretty much melting. So how do you decide, you know, what the recommended spec will be? How does that process go, and how do you make that choice? Because in the end, I guess it's a choice, right?
Yeah, we have a general direction that we're trying to stick to, and that's it. We're trying to support as low-end hardware as possible,
Right.
so that the game can run as smoothly as possible on as many different types of hardware as possible. We're trying to plan for a lot of time for optimization during the development. We're tweaking, you know, various settings, and using those nightly benchmark tests that we're running, we can actually see on which hardware combinations the game runs with an acceptable frame rate.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, we have performance QA that provides valuable advice. But yeah, the overall goal is to support old hardware. And usually,
How old are we talking? Because you're talking to hardware people, so like when we were young, let's say, yeah, what kind of probably not that old, right?
Let's cut this out of the live stream, please.
No, but how? Because again, this is a choice, right? How far back do you go? Ideally, you would want it to run on whatever people have, but that's not possible, right? Not while also increasing the level of fidelity and how the game looks. So there is like a bar at some point that you say, well, this is the minimum, because below that we simply can't show it the way we intend to show it.
Yeah, I don't have a specific example to illustrate that, but this is the overall direction.
Okay. And you said before, because we did talk a little bit before the show, indeed, you said it's also data driven a little bit, so you're probably looking at you know, data, what are people using. I imagine something that we also look at sometimes, like Steam charts, right? It's the hardware survey. You can see which are the most prevalent graphics cards and how much storage people have, and etc. It's quite detailed. But indeed, there you can see that, you know, most people don't have a 4090, which, well, I mean, it sounds like a very self-explanatory thing, but you know, it also tells you that which card they usually do have, or what resolution most are playing on, and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, and obviously you want to optimize the game for as many people as possible, because you want people to be able to play it at least. If they want to play it, they should be able to.
Yeah, this is what we're trying to do, and usually optimizations for you know, older hardware have a positive effect on your hardware. It makes the game even better performing and smooth. But yeah, I'm afraid that the question regarding the data and the statistics is a bit out of my expertise.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, maybe too technical, but I mean, we're also, you know, we're hardware vendors. We're at the cutting edge of all the technologies and the latest hardware. So, from our standpoint, we're constantly bombarded with things, you know, new technologies like direct storage. We've done a live stream about that a while ago. It's an emerging technology and still has to be implemented in games. But we've also seen both, basically all the teams in graphics cards come up with solutions to kind of increase frame rate without, like, you know, finding ways to do that. The DLSS from NVIDIA, FSR on AMD side, XeSS on Intel side. So they're all working on similar-ish technologies. Is that something at some point that you're also looking into, and how? I mean, is that also complicated because, like, maybe does the game engine need to support it, or how do you look at those things?
Right now, we're trying to invest time so that we can investigate the new technologies and the kind of possibilities that they open, and after that, try to integrate them with the game. Of course, they seem to be to provide us with the possibility to improve the overall state of the game, but we're still trying to define how exactly we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Usually, this kind of research and development endeavor is best done in the beginning of the project, and there is less time for it towards the end when you get to release and the deadlines move and loom closer and closer. But yeah, there is possibility over there, and we are trying to find the time to investigate it properly.
Basically, it just adds another layer of complexity for you guys, I guess. And you being a QA guy, you probably just like, oh, this is another thing I need to test.
Yeah. Poor QA.
Yeah. No, it's understandable.
Instant Smile is saying, if you give me a copy of the game, I can promise streaming 80 to 100 hours out of it. Well, you're lucky. We're giving away some game codes, so you can win it. If you want to participate, go to amazon.com/2/insider or YouTube or Twitch, click on the Gleam link.
Yeah.
So let's see Instant Smile if you are lucky today.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, yeah, and coming back a little bit to what you said before, right? You don't get as much time to play the game. It's like the curse we have as well. Like we're working at a hardware vendor. We started all as gamers and fans, and we also thought like, okay, I can make my my job out of my hobby. And but then when it becomes your job, you actually have less time for your hobby. So it doesn't work out quite the way you thought it would.
This is true. In particular, Total War has this problem where you need to spend a lot of time to experience a single campaign.
Yeah.
Because even a short kind of campaign in Pharaoh can take up to 8 hours.
Wow.
While if you're going to the ultimate victory, which is the grandest achievement in your campaign, you've conquered a lot and you're a master of the world and whatnot, it might take more than 20 hours. And it's a challenge, especially if you're playing battles, each battle taking between 5 and maybe 20 minutes, depending on the battle itself. It takes even more time than that. So it is a challenge to be able, for a game director such as myself, it is a challenge to find the time to consistently sit and play the game so that I'm aware what exactly we're working on and what we have achieved so far. But it's absolutely necessary and absolutely unavoidable. And I'm glad to have made, I know, about maybe 20 campaigns before we released the game. It was hard to do. but who needs sleep anyway?
Well, yeah, you're right there. Okay. That's I think pretty much all the time that we have for the interview. So I want to thank you for coming on. Really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to be enjoying the game a little bit later on in the live stream as well, and trying to show a couple of these things that you mentioned, trying to look for the sandstorm.
Look for the sandstorm.
Yeah.
It will come.
And see how it goes. Is there any way that we can trigger it specifically, or any areas that it happens more frequently?
Usually the desert.
That sounds logical, Peter.
You can also start a custom battle, and there should be an option for you to.
The weather.
Yeah. Desert storm.
Yeah. Okay.
Sandstorm.
All right, we might do that indeed, specifically to look it up. Okay, so thank you very much, Todor.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
We hope to maybe speak to you again in a couple of years or something when maybe we have another title. Who knows?
Absolutely.
All right.
Maybe.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Have a great evening.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. So that was really cool. Again, we always try to arrange these things. Sometimes it's quite difficult, but it's really awesome when it works and when we're able to get somebody on the stream. Right, Eric.
Giveaway time.
Yes. You read my mind.
So I saw somebody in the chat, he wanted to stream it for 80 to 100 hours. And Alan said, no, 24 hours, no sleep, no toilet breaks. You need to stream it.
He didn't say non-stop.
Non-stop for 1 month.
Well.
Okay, we're going to do our best.
Yes.
Let me see. What is it today? This is the right giveaway.
Yes.
Winners.
Yes.
We only have winners today here.
Yes. Yeah. So we have a couple of game keys to give away, courtesy of Creative Assembly and Sega, of course, who provided them to us. and to participate, well, you guys kind of know how it goes, right? You go to msi.com/2/insider or follow the link that's being posted every 5 minutes in YouTube or Twitch chat. The more actions you perform, the better your chance of winning, and winners are chosen randomly, so it's out of our hands. We just click the button and then winner appears. That's it. So we
make
have
it sound
our
easy.
first winner. Yeah, it is that easy.
Yeah, first winner with loyalty bonus. Thank you, Erispa.
Eripsa.
Eripsa.
Don't start changing things around.
Eripsa.
Eripsa.
Congrats.
Congratulations. We're going to get the code out to you as soon as possible.
Yeah.
We really hope you enjoy the game. I
So-
know I have.
Peter, I think we're going today play in
Yeah.
like widescreen, right?
Yes, correct. So that's why it looks like this, indeed,
Yeah.
as you can see there. And that's because I'm playing on a really nice monitor, and what I'll do is I'll switch to the page that shows that. Here we go. I'm playing on the, let's full screen it, MEG 342C QD-OLED. To pick it apart, it's a 34-inch diameter, so that's why the 3.4. The 2, I don't know what that means. The C.
That's just the series of
Yeah,
generation.
indeed. The C is because it's curved. It is. It's slightly curved. Let's see if we can see. It probably will say the curvature somewhere. Here we go. 1800R. So that's you know, the bigger the number, I think the less extreme the curve, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So smaller number is.
So
it
you
means
probably need
it's much
12
more
of
curved.
these in order to create a circle.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. And QD, quantum dot, means really nice colors, right? You guys know that. And OLED, which means damn dark blacks.
Yeah. We
And,
picked this model today because in the beginning of 2024, we're already talking next year.
Yeah.
Actually, during CES, we're going to launch more OLED models. So we will have I think like a 27-inch, a 32-inch, and even a 49-inch. I saw somebody in the beginning in the chat said not big enough if it's below
damn.
50-inch. Well, we're
I don't
coming
know.
close.
I mean, at some point, when do we just start making beamers? Like, because if you need to fill a wall, then let's just do that, right?
Yeah.
Or matrix displays. I don't know. It's anyway. But yeah, they keep getting bigger and bigger, the screens indeed. And yeah, like you said, QD-OLED. It's like when it first came out, it's like it's the best of both worlds, right? QD is that really rich, bright, vibrant colors, and then OLED's got those really dark levels of black, where black is actually black, and it's not like still backlit a little bit. So it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And that's why, we wanted to play it on the monitor that looked the best. It was basically the best monitor we could get here. And the reason why we're playing it on that is, let's see, here we go. We have a bundle. As I mentioned actually at the beginning of the live stream. So we currently have a bundle running in, I think, EMEA, so Europe, Middle East, and Asia. If I'm not mistaken.
So not in the US?
So as far as I could see, no, it's
Okay.
not in the US. But let me check, because if you want to check out our bundles and
I
current
think
promotions,
it's also in the US, Peter.
not from what I've seen. Anyway,
Okay.
you can actually check that, because you can check what's new, because that's basically where all the news but also promotions are located, and then go to promotions here. And there you will see everything that's currently running. So you can see there's a couple of bundles, but also in the middle right there, Total War Pharaoh game bundle.
We have so many bundles.
Yes, we do. And here actually, it will, I think, I've already, okay, let me just reset to the normal website. It already went to a certain country. What I wanted to show was when you click on it, here you go. Now you have to choose which country,
USA.
because
Or NALA.
the eligible products, indeed. So there's only Europe, Asia, Middle East, and Africa. So North America, Latin America, that's what NALA means.
So Peter, can you select one? I saw a nice giveaway over there. So it seems that we're not the only one giving away something.
Where? What?
I don't know, just select UK or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, over there.
There was indeed, but I think it's expired, if I'm not mistaken. But there was indeed. Well, maybe we can still enter, but it's not showing the visual.
I can see this in Gleam.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get a bit more information. But yeah, there was a giveaway of a really nice PC. I think it's kind of
Ends
this one.
in 9 days. according to my info
It's
here.
in 9 days. Okay.
Yeah, so that's 11. That's
Where
can you scroll up?
Where's the? I want to click the link to where it's located.
The Gleam thingy.
No, well, it's now it's working.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is just how to participate. It doesn't really show.
It should say like you have 9 days left.
Yeah, but I want to show submissions of entries October 11th to.
Yeah.
Oh, it was still the 11th of November. Oh yeah, I was mistaken. Yeah, and the winner announcement is on November 28th. So. It is a special edition of the MPG Gungnir 300R Airflow.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yes, and
That's
that's
a
what I
nice
was
one.
kind of looking for, if I could find that. But what I'll show is it's the R actually. Here we go. So it's actually this case that they're talking about, the Gungnir 300R Airflow, and there's a black version there and a white version, as you can see. It's the black version that they will be giving away, and there's actually a very nice Pharaoh print on there. So from the game, the key visual, let's say, it's on the side there. Really nice PC, really nice case, and yeah, so they're giving that away. So yeah, if you want, I'm not sure if all countries are eligible, but you can find that on the promotion page. Getting back to the promotion then, depending on which country you choose, I've chosen UK as an example. Some countries have monitors included, others only cases. When it comes to the cases, it is basically the, here we go, the Gungnir 300R and the 300P series.
It's a bit strange that they don't show the customized case, because it's really nice.
I know, and shall I Google for it? Because I've seen it, and
I've
does
seen it.
look
Oh,
nice.
it's in the press release probably.
Pharaoh.
Don't Google it. You will show stuff you don't want to.
I don't know. It's Bing, so I don't know what happens there. It's.
I will find it. Don't worry.
I don't know. Anyway, it is indeed really nice, and I'm not sure if there's a press release.
Yeah, there is a press release.
Oh, in that case, then it should be easy to find.
In that case, lol.
No, but in that case, it should be quite easy to find, because then we just go here. And
Yeah, but it doesn't show the case. Anyway.
Press room. Oh, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. I don't know why.
Well, that's okay. Anyway.
A bit strange. Anyway, you still have like 10 days left, 11 days left.
Yeah.
Or 9,
So
I don't know.
let's go back to the bundle. Here we go. So here actually for the cases, or chassis as it says here. So it's the Gungnir 300 series, 300R and 300P. So the R is for, I believe, RGB, right? So that means that there are RGB fans and a really nice RGB graphics card stabilizer holder. And it's also available in white. And actually, in a few minutes, I will pull mine up, but it will block a big part of the screen. So I'll do that after this part. And you have the Gungnir 300P. And the P stands for pure, right? I believe. So that means like pure as in no RGB.
Yeah.
So it's basically just a black case. Or at least the fans are not RGB. And yeah, it still has the nice glass window, so you can still see in. But indeed. So those are eligible, and I saw somebody in the chat saying indeed earlier that they very recently bought one of these cases. Definitely worth checking out. I don't know what the action period is, but definitely worth checking out if you're still eligible to claim this the game code with it. I can't see here. Let me see. Okay, bundle specifics maybe here. Okay, promotion period. If you bought it somewhere between the 11th of October and November the 30th, you should be eligible. So you should be able to redeem it.
It says so in the 2 headlines.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. And in terms of monitors, well, again, this differs. The cases, I think, is pretty much for every country is the same. But which monitors are eligible, that differs per country quite a bit, as what I've seen. But one of the monitors actually that is eligible here is actually the one that we're playing on today, which is the QD-OLED, and that's in the UK. UK does have the most monitors that are eligible, because as you can see, it goes all the way from 27-inch QRF QD, but also the more entry-level ones to all the way up to this MEG, which is one of our top-end models, let's say. So there's quite a lot to choose from. And if you're looking for a new monitor anyway, and you're planning to buy one, it's a nice addition that you also get the game with it. So yeah. So the Gungnir cases as well. I mean, I'm going to pull it up in a minute, and I believe we did 1 or 2 builds already with.
Well, maybe you show the case.
Yeah, I can show it in real life. I'm not going to build anything in it because it's already built. Obviously, it's running. What you were seeing, what we were capturing, is actually running on that PC. We just create a bit of space here, and then let's take this beefy boy and put it on the table.
I hope it still works.
If you see sparks flying.
Yeah, I think we used this one in the last month several times.
We did, yeah.
We're too lazy to build a new one.
No, not just that, but also, I mean, again, like it keeps coming up that, okay, we have a bundle with this thing, and it is a damn nice case. So
and you upgraded this one, right?
I did, yeah.
I can see that because
you
it's
might
not
see
matching
some difference.
the color
I don't
scheme
know,
anymore.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
I'm the graphics card guy, so what I did is I went and got a 4090 Supreme X.
Yeah.
Did I overdo it?
No commentaire.
There's no white 49 Supreme. No, there isn't at the moment.
Show the benchmark, Peter. I mean, did you overdo it? Only the benchmark can answer that.
Well, yeah, it is a chunky boy. Yes, MK Lee. That's right. But anyway, yeah, I can throw up a couple of specs about this this PC here, and I think it should be, it's showing at the bottom as well, but I'll just name them once. So it's running a Ryzen 7 7700X. That is mounted on an MPG B650 Edge Wi-Fi motherboard. That's pretty much chosen for the light build, let's say. So it's silver and white themed. The memory, the DDR memory, is 32 gigs of G.Skill Trident Z5 Neo RGB, which is 6000 CL30 memory. It's pretty damn fast as well. It's also running the Expo, because it's an AMD build, obviously, well, the CPU released. It's running an Expo memory profile. For the SSD, the storage, we are using a Spatium M480 2TB M.2 SSD, so that's pretty damn fast and offers more than enough space, obviously, for a game like this. The case, as I mentioned, this is the MPG Gungnir 300R Airflow White. So that last part probably you could tell, but hey, just saying it just to be clear.
And,
and as I said, the graphics card is a RTX 4090 Supreme X, 24 gigs of memory. So also there, you know, at the moment there's nothing above that, pretty much. For the power supply, we're using the MAG A850GL PCIe 5. So that means that it does have like the single connector here. Well, it's pretty much a little bit behind this.
Well, that's nice actually.
It is, yeah, but it's like it basically 4090. Otherwise, you'd need what is it? Three 8 pins.
Yeah, 3 8 pins.
Yeah, and then a converter to the 16 pin. So I mean, the PCIe 5 power supply is obviously much better. You get the native 16 pin connector. And that's just...
Hey Peter, can you go to your browser and type in pharaoh.totalwar.com?
I will try. Oh.
And then /news. So pharaoh.totalwar.com/news/MSI-competition.
Probably I can find it here somewhere. Or maybe not. Latest news. Here we go. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me take this one. So that's the case.
Can we? Here we go. Let's zoom in. There we go. Look at that. Yeah. So that's the case they're giving away.
Bocco helped us out.
And actually, they say it's a custom PC giveaway.
Oh, if you scroll down, you see it as well.
Yeah. Look at that. And so actually, it's
a total PC.
Yeah, well, the first prize is, and then they have a second PC, which is also a case and a copy.
But it's not the customized case.
Ah, okay. So that one is okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it's quite unique. It's pretty much one of a kind. And if you win, indeed, the first prize, it's a full PC. So it's a branded Pharaoh branded PC with an i9 13900K. Well, the Gungnir 300R case, obviously. MEG
I think you have nothing to complain about.
Z790 Ace. a 4070 Ti Supreme. The Core Liquid S360. Well, this is actually the same power supply that we have in here as well. So the A. Oh no, actually it's not because we have the GL in here. But the A850G PCIe 5. A Spatium for M480 2 terabyte, which with a heatsink on it as well, so that's nice. This one has a little bit different memory, but still, Kingston Fury, Renegade DDR5, RGB, 24 gigs, which again is really nice, and a copy of Total War.
And
Pharaoh Dynasty
this can
Edition.
happen, you know. Sometimes we need to send out the press release before these kind of.
Yes.
Maybe the model wasn't ready, didn't come back from the factory.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's, in my opinion, it should have been in our press release as well.
Eric, here's a good question for you. Evolutions 007 is asking, what's the difference between MEG, MAG, and MPG? What is the high-end one?
Yeah, maybe come back next week. No, yeah. So we have MAG which is the entry-level gaming. We call it Arsenal gaming. Then we have MPG, which is performance gaming. That's how we defined our mid-range. And then we have MEG, and the E then is enthusiastic. Enthusiast. I think. Yeah, enthusiast. Yeah.
But I mean, you could also say elite.
Yeah, and that's the most high end. So, for example, this OLED monitor, I would bet it's the MEG.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the elite level. It's the enthusiast level.
Yeah. However, I already talked about this before. We're going to have like 5 or 6 new OLED monitors, and we also have MPG.
Yeah.
And maybe some other lower level. I don't think so. But anyway.
Are you talking entry level OLED?
Let me.
There's an interesting juxtaposition.
Let me check.
But yeah, and MP. I mean, this case. So the Gungnir that we're looking at here, that's actually part of the MPG, so the performance gaming line. So indeed, it's like if you see products in the MAG line.
Yeah, Peter, MAG as well.
Not the 300R.
No. But I mean, we will introduce MAG OLED monitors.
Yes.
So they will, you know.
But I mean, again, you know, when you're talking about MEG, MPG, MAG, what MAG usually means is it focuses on the essentials, right? So it usually does away, for a large degree, with things like RGB or something like that. So you could, if you're looking at graphics cards, you could compare that to like the Ventus series, right? Yeah. Really just focusing on the essentials. MPG adds a bit of flair.
Why didn't we call it
and some
essentials?
extra features, some extra goodies basically to play around with. And then you have MEG, and MEG really is like, let's say, balls to the wall. It's like the best you can get with all the features, just, you know, godlike motherboards, the newest best panels, for example, in this case, for the monitor. So it's really like the highest that we can at that point do.
And how it works, and I think this is quite interesting, you know, in the MEG segment, the high-end segment, they always introduce things which will slowly do, should I say trickle or tickle?
No, trickle. Well, tickle as well, but no.
Okay, well, they both trickle and tickle down, you know, to a lower level. So, of course, not in that year or not in that time, but maybe if, like a half year later, costs will have come down, and then you will see features like we have it on the GPUs as well. Torx Fan 4 used to be in last year's high-end
gaming and Supreme.
Yeah, and now it's moved to the more value goods.
No, that's right. So indeed, it's something that, and then still, you know, I mean, OLED still is quite an expensive technology. So you shouldn't expect probably that OLED panels will become, you know, like the same price as rapid IPS panels. That's probably not realistic. But what an MAG OLED monitor probably will be is a monitor that just focuses on that, you know, just offering that OLED. Yeah. But it will probably not offer, I don't know, a KVM switch, for example, or a lot of other extras, let's say, that MPG will offer. So you have to make choices. Exactly, but you have to make choices, but then that will be the monitor for people who don't really care about those other features, but just care about the OLED. Yeah. And so you're paying for just the OLED, and it will be, you know, let's say, priced a bit more attractively because of that as well. So yeah, it's a choice, it's a trade-off. Micro LED.
Maybe let's play this game, because you're maybe start with the benchmark.
Yeah, I can show you that indeed. So let's see if the game still runs, because I've had it tabbed out for a bit. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so the game is trying to catch up there.
Oh, Sandstorm.
Yeah, no, well, not yet. But
oh, you selected the bow he was referring to.
Yeah. So indeed, in the funny thing is, indeed, in the options here, in the options menu, Let me sit down as well. You can see the resolution we're running. So this is an ultra-wide 1440p, let's say. So a 3440 times 1440 resolution. The quality is custom because I put everything as friggin' high as I could. Also ticked the box for unlimited video memory because 24 gigs, well, that sounds pretty much unlimited to me. But everything else I put on the highest setting I could select. Let's see. So here there's even something above ultra. Which
I think this is quite
setting.
nice, Peter. It has a preview which actually works. I don't know which game we looked at a few
Like this.
weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I think this really helps indeed. It's probably a lot of work to do that. Texture quality as well. You can really see the difference there.
Well, you just change the setting and make a screenshot.
Yeah, but from a game developer point of view, right? You have to put some time to
Yeah,
actually
somebody
make
needs
these
to do it.
screenshots to include them here. So, but yeah, that's definitely nice. Terrain details. Anyway, everything's on the highest setting, as you can see. I checked. There is no motion blur, so I didn't have to turn that off. There is something called heat haze.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
desert effect.
Yes,
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Lightning bolt flash. If there's, I mean, there's probably not a whole lot of rain, but hey, who knows? Anyway, so yeah, everything is pretty much. Oh wait, no, this one wasn't. That's good. Extreme unit size, porthole quality, and hide dead bodies. Never.
No.
We want all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
so anyway-
history is created.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Without their bodies, no history.
Yeah, exactly. And then here on the bottom right, not sure if you got. Oh, that's blocked by me actually. Anyway, there is two buttons. There's recommended
Oh my
and there's
God,
benchmark.
Peter. Maybe you move.
Well, I don't know. I think the monitor is actually blocking it most of all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
can
see
show
the
you.
recommended button
I can
here.
show here.
Yeah,
Peter.
exactly. Yeah, there
Why?
you go. Recommended, and then on the bottom right there, there's benchmark.
You're
When
lying
you
on
click
your desk
benchmark,
and
you
your
get
keyboard.
there's three presets. There's battle, campaign, and siege. So yeah, let's run a battle benchmark because they said that one was probably the most demanding.
Oh, watch out for the audio because it's
We did
possible.
turn it down a little bit.
Yeah. So if the audio is too loud, let us know. Because those warriors make a lot of noise.
Philinax, did you say we enter for that giveaway under promotions? Depends. If you for the giveaway, you for the PC basically, you can indeed head over to the promotions in there under the Total War Pharaoh page. It will be somewhere, scroll a little bit down, and there will be like a way to enter indeed. If you are looking to participate in the giveaway for today's live stream, you will have to do that through our chat, basically on either YouTube or Twitch.
Oh, I'm
There's
glad
a
we can
Zoom
switch
link
these guys
being shared, and that's where the giveaway is. Any art contest to win a gaming laptop soon? I don't know.
No.
I don't, not that I'm aware of. But then again, we're not really in charge of laptop or notebooks marketing.
So there are so many units. That's why this game is heavy, I would say.
Yeah. Yes.
So Peter, I never played this game. I'm not saying I have time for it because he was talking. I hope you can save the game. He was talking about campaigns of 8 hours.
Yeah, because this is like, it's not like you have 1 hour to spend or something,
Yeah.
or half an hour, so let's dive into the game and let's do something, because in half an hour you're pretty much, all you can do is just
But
maybe set something up.
The
and that's it.
strategic part, is it like, I mean, I don't know if this is an international game, but in Holland it's called Risk. It's like that, you have
Kind
battle
of.
units, you move across a map.
Yeah,
You position them.
It's units, but it's also managing your provinces, let's say. So you have to try and build, you can build buildings in provinces and stuff like that. I'll show you in a minute, but it's, so that's like, managing your territories, managing your armies, managing your resources.
Yeah.
That's the strategic map part.
Okay, so the benchmark is
127.6.
Wow. Really small.
And that's like everything maxed out at this resolution, so that's still
And you
quite-
see it sometimes dropping to 80.
yeah. That was, I think, the lowest indeed. Let's see, let's pick one of the other benchmarks. Okay, so campaign, so here you can see the campaign map actually, and this is also quite beautiful.
I like the graphics. I mean, the art.
So it's partly an idle clicker. I'm not sure if it's an idle, because it's turn-based, so it doesn't do anything, unless you end your turn, and it goes with the seasons, let's say, and I'm not sure I don't think it's 4 seasons in this game because it goes along with the seasons of the Nile flooding and stuff like that. So it's basically.
Well, they had 4 seasons back then.
No, I think it was 4 seasons in previous games. You know, you had the spring, summer, autumn, and winter. But here, I've noticed it goes along with, again, the several stages of the Nile. So there's the flooding stage, there's the harvesting season, there's that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I think that's what, there's 5 or 6, I believe, seasons in 1 year.
And the pyramids are already built, or you need to do that yourself?
No, look, there you go. So they are there, but I think you can even build more. But it depends on which territory you can't just build them anywhere. Let's put it like that.
And if you die, do you get your own pyramid?
No, because you don't get a pyramid because you die. You have to build it before you die. Okay. That's what the pharaohs did. Yeah. So ideally, and also there, it's in this game, I don't think your character, if your character dies, I believe that's it, you're game over. So your characters are kind of, I don't want to say immortal, but it's not like some other games where indeed you have to make sure you have an heir or something and then that heir takes over. I don't think that happens in this game. So basically, if you pick one of the characters at the beginning, like Ramses or something, that's you for the rest of the game, and you start building that character up as well. Yeah, you can.
And can you wage war in each of the maps, or like here in the woods? Can you say, this is where I'm going to have my battle?
Well, you have to, that's where the campaign map comes in, right? So this map part.
So this is the campaign map, right?
You're moving this is what the campaign map looks like. And you'll have to move your troops to an area like that, and then if you meet an enemy there and you have a battle, then that's what the terrain will look like. Yeah. But
how many FPS?
365.
Okay. So this is not demanding, this part.
Less indeed. It's still like NRT on Antikythera is saying, it looks amazing. Yes, it does. But because there's not so many units that need to be, rendered and stuff like that, it's a bit less demanding.
And can you not play this part of the game? Or sorry, only play this part of the game? Like some games, you have I just roll the dice and
it's not rolling the dice, but you have auto calc indeed. So you can basically, if for example the real-time battles are not your thing, I don't know, maybe they take too much time and you just want to paint the map. Let's say you want to stay in the strategic. Yeah, you can definitely do that. You can just auto-calculate the battles. It means you have less control over it, and so there might be.
The outcome will be the same.
Depends, but if you want to auto-calculate the battle, it will actually tell you the odds when you meet an enemy of what your odds are, if you're more powerful
based
than
on
your
strength,
enemy or
skill.
And so this is a siege map, let's say. So if you're sieging a city, let's say, this is kind of something that what it could look like. So you actually have the city is rendered as well. You have the city walls on the outside. In the distance there, you have the pyramids. So obviously this will be one of the cities closer to the pyramids itself. And then you have troops running around in the city. And it will actually have the buildings that you built in the campaign map, for example. They will probably also be present on this map, let's say.
Wow. And do you need to do any resource management?
Yep. Yeah, very much.
They didn't have oil.
That's actually one of the most important things about this, because you cannot raise armies unless you can sustain them. Yeah. So you have several resources. You'll see in a minute when I start the game.
I guess food.
Yeah, you have food. You have wood, stone. Yeah. And then you have gold, obviously. And then the main thing that this age was known for, the Bronze Age. So you have bronze.
And without bronze, no weapons.
Pretty much, yeah. All the weapons in the Bronze Age were pretty much made from bronze. Yeah. Because steel,
gold you cannot make weapons.
Yeah, iron and steel weren't really feasible back then. They require a much higher temperature to melt, let's say. So bronze requires the lowest temperatures. That was doable. The bronze consists out of 2 components, so you need copper and tin. And copper, there was a lot of abundance.
I think Peter went recently to a historic museum.
Yeah?
Otherwise you wouldn't know this.
No, actually I watched a couple of documentaries because I didn't know that much about the Bronze Age collapse. But when I heard about it, it intrigued me indeed, and I looked at the nice thing about it is there's no clear consensus yet about how exactly and what happened exactly. because there's very few written records. If you can imagine that. I mean, they didn't write back then, right? So
Yeah.
there's
Well,
there's-
the Egyptians wrote.
yes, so there's indeed some.
That's why it's called
hieroglyphics,
history,
and
otherwise
there's
it would be
some,
prehistoric.
Well, there was some writing, but it wasn't as extensive as you might think, and
Yeah, yeah.
also the records were.
They
mostly,
didn't at TikTok.
Well, no, but the records that they find are usually made by like the wealthy, like the noble,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
noble people.
They would
and,
talk about their own problems.
kings, and yeah. So it's kind of like I saw somebody saying like trying to judge history and seeing what happened by looking at those records only would be kind of like only trying to judge what's happening in the world today by looking at the U.S. president's Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it gives a very narrow image
Yeah,
of
yeah,
what's actually happening.
True.
Anyway, but it's a very interesting period indeed, and something completely, as Todor said earlier as well, they actually had some pretty damn impressive civilizations back then already, and they were trading with each other. It was very international. And then something really catastrophic happened, and pretty much all those civilizations pretty much just stopped existing, or at least crumbled. I think Egypt did survive, but it was severely weakened. And all the other, like the Hittites, which basically is like Turkey, that region, Anatolia, that was completely wiped out. Greece was wiped out. You have, what is it, the Minoans on Rhodes, I think it was. Those were also completely wiped out, and Cyprus. So yeah, very big event. And again, there's still some mysticism about what actually happened, and it's probably a combination of things.
So, are we going to play this 8-hour campaign today, or?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I mean, you've got nothing going on this evening, do you?
Nope, nothing.
There we go. Nice. Yeah, so he also. Oh, actually, maybe we can do a custom battle because, like you said, right, we want to show the sandstorm effect. So, I mean, you can choose several factions. Let's see. I'm one of those people because you asked earlier, Eric, if it's possible to stay within the campaign map. And
I'm going to cut off the PC here.
Okay, I kind of, yeah, that's fine. I kind of did that as well because I wanted to kind of move through the campaign and get a feel for how it works. So I actually didn't play that many battles. I'm not really good at it, but let's see. Battle type, so we're on the land. Time of day, yeah, let's make a day. Weather, here we go. Sandstorm. Nice.
Oh, cool.
Predicted weather, sweltering.
So, will your troops be like more exhausted?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's what it would be indeed. Prosperity. Okay, so these are the three stages as well. Civilization level. So you can start at the beginning of the game. It's prosperity. You're at the height of the Bronze Age. So everything, all the empires are really wealthy and doing well.
But
and
also
everybody can
stronger.
support each other. Yeah, they're very strong. And then comes the crisis, which there are problems starting to arise and stuff like that. And then at the end you have the collapse, where everything basically goes to shit. Let's say. But anyway, let's just maybe start one. And the units, well, it doesn't matter. Let's arm.
When I was doing this in these kind of games, I was always
Time limit, 60 minutes? Unlimited? That's unit size, extreme, funds. Yeah, well, large. Doesn't matter.
funds. I would always do extreme, unlimited.
No, well,
The
that's
problem
the thing,
was
but
my enemy got the
you
same.
I was going to say, the thing is that in the game, you can't do anything with those funds. So that's
No.
that only applies here. So what I can do with that is basically say, I want indeed like the most expensive units. I don't know if you can filter them on how expensive they are, but I guess I heard chariots were the most expensive ones. So let's see which ones are the best chariots. There's some here. Heavy Anatolian chariots. Ooh, those look nice. These ones are pretty expensive. Oh, here we go. Oh, Great King Elite units. There you go. That sounds like something. Pharaoh. Ah.
But can they move through the sandstorm?
Well, we're about to see, aren't we? How do I do
And
okay,
I
here we
think
go.
they had horses, right?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
donkeys.
that's chariots indeed. Yeah. And what else? Yeah. Anyway, let's add something there and let's.
Added the best of the best.
Well,
Hey,
just
oh,
a couple. Just a couple.
They have a few. They have like 2 units less.
No, they have more actually because
Oh,
this is.
that's you.
Wait, no, this is them. I think this is me.
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken.
Good luck, Peter. Defenders always
I guess
have a
it tried to
benefit.
balance it out, but here we go. Wow, look at that. Yeah, so there's a sandstorm, guys.
Do
You can get all the way
perhaps
to the
have
sand level. Look at that.
Afterburner? What's that in the left corner? I see some FPS.
Oh, that here.
Yeah.
No, that's actually in the game, and I don't know if you can turn that off. Let me check.
Or it's like really small.
Low FPS notification. No, that's
No,
just-
thank you. We don't want to know that.
No, exactly. I'm just seeing if you can actually turn it off. I'm not sure. I didn't see that anywhere.
Oh,
so-
it should be.
Yeah, but I don't see the option to turn it off. So I guess it's just there.
Maybe interface?
Yeah. No game.
Okay.
No, don't know. Well, anyway.
Well, then at least we have an FPS counter. It's quite small.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, it is. Yeah. But here you go.
So now, I mean,
Well, you have the army, and you have like this marked area, right?
that's the
So
territory.
yeah, that's your deploy area, let's say, and
but
then
no
you can
fence.
you can determine. I'm just gonna do this, and then the enemy is gonna do the same, but they're obviously on their end. And then, I mean, as you can see now, they're all asleep, let's say, so they're not doing anything, they're idling.
Yeah.
But you can also see they're eager general nearby, so you actually get a boost if they're close to the
Okay.
general.
Yeah.
That helps their morale. Flank secure, so they're all, you know, they're
But
looking
they're
for-
sleeping.
Yeah, and then so the enemy is kind of, you know, they're spreading out.
Yeah.
Probably they want to try and outflank us. I'm not sure. And what I'm going to do now is probably the worst thing you can do. And again, I haven't really played it, but I'm just going to send in my my chariots.
It is
And,
not possible to turn off the sandstorm. I think it is. I mean, Peter, you just selected the sandstorm. Is
Yeah, I
this
did.
like-
Yeah, as like a fixed thing, because I wanted to make sure. I'm targeting his general with my. Here we go. So here come the chariots. And this is the nice thing about this Total War. You can just zoom the camera, pan it as you see fit.
Wow.
So they're probably going to get into each other's ways, but there we go. Let's see if we can speed them up. And they're probably going to get destroyed by the enemy.
Oh,
but
they're
they-
running.
Oh, they're actually. Oh, yeah. So these are archers. So archer units will stop then, I guess.
Yeah, they need to have to. They have to have some
Yeah.
distance between
I
them.
agree. Yeah.
Hey,
They're trying to maintain their distance.
they're flanking you.
Yeah, of course. And I didn't, because again, like this is the worst thing you can probably do. But you have to then put your units in a way better way than I'm doing now. But see if we can.
A lot of clickety click.
Oh yeah. Well, it's all about you know, making your
And,
army.
do you also have your horses?
Yeah, that's the thing about chariots. When they get bogged down in battle, let's say, and in with the enemy,
Like a traffic jam.
they're probably just, you know, they're just getting slaughtered. As you see here, there's some.
And what about the hospital? Can you like take care of the wounded?
No. And this is like this game. It's just, you know, the army you bring in. That's
Your
what you
warriors
get.
are waiting.
Okay, you cannot build or get more units once you're in a battle.
And those armies, do they get like experience? So if you use
Yes.
them later in battle, they are better?
You
or?
can see here actually this one. It has the one star or
Okay,
one chevron,
yeah.
and this one has 2. So yeah, they actually do level up, let's say, and they do get experience once you're running in. And I'm actually there's actually a counter here, let's say, which, you know, the time limit, but also like the balance of power, let's say. So,
Doesn't look good for you.
No, I know. I want to say I'm intentionally losing, and I kind of am, but at the same time, yeah, it's. I just suck at these battles because I haven't really spent any time to see, you know, how best to do that. So I'm just sending troops in to die. That's pretty much it. Anyway,
Maybe
the
we
sandstorm.
should switch off the
looks great.
sandstorm. I mean, it was fun like a
Your
lot.
warriors have been routed.
Sorry,
Maybe we should switch off the sandstorm because it's very difficult
I
to
can't. I can only do that by exiting the battle.
see. Okay.
At least that's what I think. Oh, wait, I can say sandstorm. This is just showing the current weather. Again, I selected the sandstorm as being like the weather that we're doing battle in.
And you can speed up time?
Yes, you can at the top right here. So fast forward. And again, I'm not doing anything right now, as in like I'm not even telling my troops to do anything.
Well, you're winning. I mean, the odds are in your favor. Well, not in your favor, but I mean, they're shifting.
No, I'm not winning at all. If anything, I'm probably losing.
Your warriors have been routed.
All right, maybe we need to target him. That usually gives a pretty nice morale boost. But yeah, you know. Oh, my warriors are rallying. Right, well, I guess they're still losing. But... Oh, my troop count is
By the
going
gods,
back
your
quite
warriors
far.
are rallying.
They're quite fast, and they're actually their units aren't even dying. So yeah, I'm pretty much losing. Anyway, but this is pretty nice.
Your warriors
I
are
don't
wavering.
even know. Allied troop count. I'm not sure why they're not attacking, but
Thanks, Alan. Take care.
I probably did something wrong. Anyway, you can see defeat. Wait, there's a photo mode as well. So indeed, you can actually, yeah, just zoom in a particular moment of a battle, like at the beginning of the siege when the cannons. I'm not sure. No, there's no cannons in the Bronze Age. But when your siege equipment first starts doing its thing, you can actually zoom right into to the individual units and make screenshots. Like you can actually make art for. I've seen like videos on YouTube, like history channels. They actually make use of in-game images and screenshots like this from games to help illustrate what they're talking about. So that's really nice. So you can actually.
Major Angel is saying, shouldn't they be building pyramids or something?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there's some filters here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they really did a nice documentary. Here you go. It's like a little bit of black and white there.
Yeah, they didn't have color at that moment.
Movie, dusty,
cool.
Midnight, North. Again, it's really nice to play around with it. Gritty realism.
But it doesn't change the fact that you're losing.
You actually have arrows in the air here. Look at that. No, it doesn't indeed. So anyway, I will concede defeat because we're not getting out of this one. And just to show you also the campaign map, let's say, what I will do is I'll just start.
Peter, I'm going to do another.
Do another giveaway.
Maybe.
While you're doing that, I will explain a little bit about what the game is like, because this is like the main campaign, and what you can do here is you need to choose one of the factions, let's say. So these are the Egyptian factions here. You have Ramesses, you have Seti, Tausret, and Amenmess. I guess I'm butchering those names, but I'm trying at least. Each of them has like at least a direction, but as Todor, the game developer, mentioned earlier this live stream, it's not like you're set in your way, so you might have a bit of an advantage in the direction that character is going, but you can still change it around if you want to. But each of them has like this, let's say, character that, and also the starting position is different. So Ramesses, for example, is easy. Seti is easy. Tausret is normal. Amenmess is normal. But they will be a little bit more challenging. That's probably down to where they start, how many provinces they have. And let's see, Tausret, for example. So they start in the middle here. Seti is a bit more north, so towards the Nile Delta. And Ramesses starts in the Sinai Peninsula, so the Sinai Desert.
Okay, Peter?
Yeah.
I did 2 lucky draws, so
there you go.
Yeah. First one is DCTTT1, and the second one with loyalty bonus, lucky, 971.
Yeah.
Congrats you both.
Right.
You will get a game code for this game, and it will. Yeah, we're sorry that we're giving it away because it will cost you many hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will cost you your job probably if you really want to get into it.
Yeah, it could be. So if you still want to participate, you can go to amazon.com/insider or YouTube and Twitch. You can click on the Gleam link.
But it's well worth it. Anyway, so that's the Egyptians. But even though this game is called Total War Pharaoh, it's not like you can only play the Egyptians. You also have the Canaanites.
There's profit in chaos.
So the Canaanites are, in the Levant, as it's called, so the area of Israel, Syria, Lebanon these days. So they're like in between the two great empires of Egypt and the Hittites, which again that's more Anatolia or modern day Turkey. So you have the Irsu and you have Bey. Each of them, like Bey is a schemer, so I'm assuming he's more like political and trying to achieve his aims through all kinds of political stuff. And Irsu is the Ravager. I think that speaks for itself. He's just brute force attacking, probably.
Like me with hardware.
Yeah, kind of. And even, I mean, that's the way, right? It even the start game button basically changes. So for Bey, who is the schemer, it says snake your way to the top. So again, be careful. And for Irsu, it says burn it all down.
Who dares to challenge me?
Quite, so that's the Canaanites, and then you have the Hittites. So those again are
this land.
is the empire located in Anatolia in Turkey.
Valunux on Twitch is asking, is the Nala region, North America, USA, not eligible? No. Not for the bundle action, and so not for that complete PC giveaway.
No.
However, the region is, in our giveaway.
Yeah, for the game code indeed, yeah. So the Hittites, you also
and you
have
can
two
always
factions. Move. Yeah. So there's one, the defender, so basically you're trying to defend your capital, which is Hatta or Hattusa, and Karunta, which the usurper, I guess, is trying to challenge for the throne, something like that. So you have internal struggles. So that's like the beginning part of the game. But as you will see, and this is also the full campaign map, right? So you have the whole Egypt region, you have the Levant, and you have Anatolia, and you have at least the eastern part of the Mediterranean. But what you will see is, for example, when the trouble starts and the Bronze Age collapse starts, the Hittites will be the first ones to get hit, pretty much, because everything migrates from the north down to the south. So in reality, the Hittite Empire was completely wiped out, and the Canaanites pretty much as well. Egypt did survive. But anyway, because we're talking about Pharaoh, and the game this is the main character of the game as well in the art. So let's focus on Ramesses, which is Ramesses III, who would become known to be Ramesses the Great. So let's try to fulfill his destiny. Campaign difficulty, let's just put it on easy, and a battle difficulty normal, it doesn't matter. You can, as Todor mentioned, there's campaign customization. So you can do a lot of stuff here about the budget and changing pretty much everything about your starting campaign and how it looks, and what is easy, what is not, what is hard, what you want to be a challenge. I think this is pretty awesome, because normally you just accept, like, okay, you start a campaign and that's it, right? You just have to play through it. So here there's actually a lot that you can customize. So if there's parts of it indeed that you don't enjoy or something, or you think are too hard or too easy, you can change that. All right, so then we start. We get a nice cutscene, which will explain. Yeah, here it's like, it tries to explain. This is like the existing Pharaoh, let's say, but he's being challenged, and he's getting old and weak, and he sees the signs of hard times coming. It's a bit of a long movie. I'll skip it. But basically, setting the scene, and so there will be a civil war quite soon after you start the game as well. Anyway, so as Ramesses will be starting out.
When my father
Ramesses
II reconquered the Sinai
this
Peninsula,
is not it, because this is the
he
Nile
made
here.
two things clear.
So it's first showing
First,
us
our
this is like the
empire is
existing
built
Pharaoh,
upon the
let's say.
stone and bronze found there. And second, we must never let it slip from our grasp
These
again.
regions are all basically also named
Ramesses,
pretty much historically correct, so that's
is
pretty
yet
cool.
to cut his lock of youth.
And this is our
Yet his
character
martial skill and leadership
Ramses.
surpass
He's
that
just
of
sitting
men
on
twice
some
his
dust
age.
on a rock.
Yeah,
He guards the Sinai
Go build
Peninsula
something, Peter.
at my behest,
we will.
leading his
And we
loyal
actually we start out
Magi
with some
against
provinces
all
that are
who would
ours.
threaten our people.
France.
So
One
it's
such
trying to show
threat
us that now.
descends from the north,
Here's the
where the
Mediterranean area.
rebellious
So these clouds,
Canaanites
that's
are a
also where
constant
that's like
thorn in my
the
side.
fog of war, I guess.
However,
So
Ramses
those are
has
areas
stamped
that
out their
you've not
defiance
discovered.
at every turn.
These are some of the Canaanites.
He accrues victories with ease, and his pride grows with every triumph. Such arrogance is not unfounded.
As you can see, some
The boy
really nice
has wreathed himself in
triremes or
glory,
something, like those old
anointing
ships
his
with the
Kopesh
oars
in the blood of Egypt's
I'm
enemies.
searching for the right link.
going up
Yet,
and down the Nile.
I worry for the
You're right.
royalty
You
that
got
runs.
Anyway, so we can start, and then it tells you at the beginning. It also tells you a bit about what is special about your faction, what its strengths, its weaknesses are, what you can focus on, not what you should.
This is the link where you can participate.
And also records, so it will keep a record of your campaign, let's say, and what you do. So it's also you can always look back on what you've done, what you've achieved so far. Current situation, also the status. So we have
Panic.
one military alliance with the Setnakti. I'm not sure, probably butchered that as well. And we're at war with the Sukkot, apparently. And so here's also, I mean, here are the main resources, but you'll see those at the top as well here. So we have food, we have stone, wood, bronze.
And how to get
gold.
more of them?
How to get more? Well, some of them we already get, as you can see, and it
Yeah.
breaks it down, like also what it's being spent on. And it's very simple. You can get them multiple ways. One is through your settlements. So, for example, this is my capital. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but as you can see, there are several buildings like this, wheat mill. So this provides food income. And this is a lumber camp or a wood cutting yard, and that provides some wood income. And I can upgrade that at some point once I've got enough idle workforce, which is on the left here. And that takes turns. Like so, at the bottom right, you can end your turn, let's say, and then I will get +1 workforce in 2 turns. So I will need to skip 2 turns in order to get 1 workforce.
Yeah.
But I can also accelerate that by building, for example, where was it? Let's see, there's a building.
We live
here
in
we
an
go.
age of
Winery.
prosperity.
Because Ramses, as it says there, Ramses likes his wine proportionally to how poorly he can hold it. Good wine in small measures is how he has decided to solve the conundrum. So anyway, this gives a nice bonus. So it's a happiness bonus, which is it's support to keep your people happy. Otherwise, they will revolt and rebel.
Whips for the idle workforce.
Yeah. And also the workforce growth. So that will accelerate, how fast you can build stuff. Anyway, so yeah, there are different buildings there. Some military buildings, as you can see here. There's different categories. There is the administration. So taxation, which will decrease your happiness, obviously, but it will increase some of the resources. You get a Hall of Records, which will give you influence and legitimacy in the end. Legitimacy is what you need to become Pharaoh. A monument, but this is far out of reach. There are, actually, let's do it this way. So those are administration buildings, management. So, a graveyard, for example, that will increase some happiness and influence. A midwife's house, so that's also focusing on the workforce growth. A traveler's inn, so this is more for movement, so
don't you have
speeding
a
up
bottle
movement.
or something?
Movement, yeah, speeding up movement. Basically, your army travels faster, let's say. And also, construction time will speed up. These are military support, so this will also have some modifiers like constructing or
I'll find a
recruiting
way to
cost
prove myself.
modifier. This is increasing the rank of the troops you recruit. This is a city guard station, so that means basically if you ever find yourself under siege, it will last longer and it will get a garrison stationed in that city. Recruitment, so this is more about the units you can actually recruit. So the higher up you can get, the better your units available to you. And there's different ones here. So there's a native one. There's units that are native to your province that you're located in. In this case, there's also Magi. Magi is, I believe, more something that is tied to Ramesses, to my character that I'm playing. There are Sheridan barracks, which is
The
again
gods
another
must be
type
in
of unit.
fine spirits.
And then there's the chariot, obviously. So the chariot is basically like the tank of that age, but they're also really expensive to maintain and build. So if you want to focus on that, you need huge resources first. Production. So here you can either focus on food, bronze, gold, or the happiness and workforce. You can actually choose multiple of them as long as you have enough slots on the bottom left here in your settlement. Resource generation, so again in this case it's food mostly, but also wood, so wood cutting and some other things, and also religion. So by investing in your religion, you will build up like favor of the gods, let's say. And that's actually located, it's actually not unlocked yet at the beginning of the campaign. But once you build more of that, it will give you blessings, let's say. So it will also, again, it's like bonus modifiers that will apply to your, well, both in the campaign map, but also in the battles. But as you can see, my settlements, I have 2 here. These are mine, these 2.
Ridley, I will feedback this to our channel marketing team.
And they are part of a province, and this province is called North Sinai,
Glory and fortune
which
abound.
I guess also includes these 2, because as I can see, it's this one, Neb Gehes, there's Nekhel, which is here, there's Azati, and there's Sukkot. So these 2 provinces, these 2 places, cities, are also part of this province. So if I want control of North Sinai, I need to take these 2 as well. And as luck would have it, here's my general,
Destiny
Ramses,
calls
my
me,
character, let's
and I
say.
am compelled to
And
answer.
here is an enemy
I
general
slaughter people who bother
who's
me.
very nicely placed nearby. And wouldn't you know it, my army is larger than his.
The future
So
of Egypt.
I think we know what we should do here, right? And we can also recruit units.
My army will be elite.
But in this case, I don't think we need to do that yet, because we also here we don't really have that much in the way of supporting extra troops. What we can do is, this is again, so this is like a technology tree, I guess. Royal decrees, and what you need to do, or what you can do here is you can, select one of them, and it will give you a bonus. But it will take, in this case, 3 turns, and the more impressive the bonus you get, the more turns it will take to actually do that, to apply. So I've selected this one now because I want to raise overall happiness, let's say, which will speed up a lot of things in terms of resource management. And it will take 3 turns to do that.
Emotep Architect said, I love the look of the temples in colors. Shout out from Egypt.
Yeah, I really like it. And again, this is one of the things they did really put time into researching what things looked like, history and stuff like that. Let's see. Okay, so army here, army there.
Chosen of Ra.
Let's get
No
it.
army anymore.
Yes. And so now, this is basically, it tells you, okay, so you've encountered them and you are attacking them, and we were already at war, so it doesn't tell me that I need to declare war if I want to attack. I can get straight to it. Here it provides me a balance of power, so basically proportion, and it tells me I'm way stronger than his army. And then I have a couple of options. So I can fight the battle manually, which would take me to the battlefield, like a battle that we had before. I can do the auto-resolve, which, then
Rolling the dice.
It will predict, if you see at the top there, it will tell, it predicts a decisive victory with our own casualties being low and the enemy casualties being high. Or I can retreat. If I think that I've made a mistake or I can't win it, I can simply just, run away. In this case, I'm going to auto-resolve it. And then you get a nice cutscene which shows the result of the battle, let's say, of the 2 generals fighting it out. And then it gives you the results. So here, there's some nice bonus that I got, some bronze, some food, some experience, obviously. And it tells me I've lost 107 soldiers, and I captured 134 of the enemy, and the rest of the enemy are all dead. Then I need to decide what I want to do with that. So, do I want to ask them to pay us tribute for the mercy that we show? So basically, that will just give me a one-time treasury thing.
Taxes. Can we do taxes?
What do you mean taxes?
Yeah, that they need to not only one time, but you know, they need to.
No, I don't. No, because that's more diplomacy. This is like a one-time thing. We've defeated them in battle, so we can take a one-time boost of 218 food, which well, it's not that much. We have 10,000 in the bank, so we can kill them all, basically, which will raise the morale of our troops, but it will also make the enemy more angry at us.
More enemy.
Well, yeah, it will indeed. We'll make them even more angry, so they will be less likely to sign any kind of peace treaty or something if you want to do that in the end. Or I can say, no, I actually want them to include the captured enemies into my own army, let's say,
yes,
and
so.
replenish my troops.
Best option.
I think so, because I've lost 107, of course, so let's do that. Yeah.
We
That's
have
how
plenty of work for them.
The armies
I
work in the
grow
past. They
stronger
conquer
each
territory,
day.
and then they ask everybody to deliver them some sons.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like indeed, some of the armies did that. The Romans as well.
Yeah.
And then you can see here, this is my character, so it's now rank 2. It was rank 1, so I ranked up because of the experience I got, and I can see I have 1 skill point, and then I can spend that in one of 3 areas, and each area is a bit different. It provides different bonuses, let's say. And here you can see there are titles, I guess they're called, and you need to get a certain amount of each thing to actually unlock them. And so I can say, yeah, I want presence, for example. Okay, let's click that one, and that will unlock. It unlocked this one, the Shield of the Magi in this case. And I can, at this moment, I can choose one. And then later on at rank 8, I get a second slot, so I can equip a second one, and so on. So let's see. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. Here it also tells me a lot about my commander, like his stats and his bodyguard, so his unit, let's say. And this is what Todor was asking, or was talking about as well. Your general, let's say, and each of your generals actually has items they can equip. And they give certain bonuses to your unit. So in this case, he has a bow, which increases 15% reload speed, and a common light armor, which helps to prevent fatigue buildup by about 5%.
However strong
I don't have
a
anything
general,
else here.
there is
but
always
if
a way
you,
to bolster their prowess
you cannot,
with fine
as far as I've seen, you cannot
and
really
suitable
build
support
stuff
from
yourself.
followers.
But by fighting other enemies, they will drop items, let's say. So you can basically you capture them after victorious battles. So I could, for example, switch my bow out for a common spear, which would, change my bodyguards into spearmen instead of bowmen. But I'll leave it as a bow for now. And your general also has special abilities which you can use during the battle, but then you need to do manual battles, of course. Right. Also here you can see there's like a movement point bar which will deplete as I move. So let's move to this city. I want to capture it.
Gods!
And I can make that within 1 turn, as you can see. There we go.
Strike hard!
And so basically this city, it has no wall. It's not it's more like a fishing town, I guess. So it's not big. It does have some troops defending it, as you can see, the garrison. But in comparison to my army, they're quite light, and so I can quite easily take them. So let's auto resolve this one as well. And there we go.
We are warriors without
And now
fear.
I've captured the town. And so I've lost almost 100 troops. We do have some enemy captured. I'm not sure if it will let me. No, it won't let me add them to my army if it's a settlement fight. And now I need to choose what to do with the settlement. So what I can do is I can straight up occupy it, which will incur a conquest penalty, as it's called. So basically a happiness penalty. So the region will suffer a decline in happiness. It will also cause province instability, which needs to be, it's like a modifier that takes a while to remove. And it will add 2 idle workforce, so that's actually a bonus. I can loot and occupy, so first take away a lot of things, basically, a lot of resources from it. It will increase the happiness penalty, so that's actually a bad thing if you intend to keep that settlement. It will also cause way more provincial instability, it does add some unit replenishment and a bit less idle workforce. I can sack it, which is basically just take whatever you can and then leave it, the settlement. So it won't become our settlement, I think, after this. Or you can raise it to the ground, meaning just completely burn it down. I mean, then you even get stoned because you're basically also demolishing all buildings and stuff like that. So you get a bit more resources out of that.
Sounds like a good option.
Yeah, you can do that, but I mean, it depends. If you want to complete your conquest, let's say, then raising everything isn't really a good option. So I will say.
Well, not everything, just this one.
This is part of a new empire.
Actually, I wanna complete my
Through your
my
actions
conquest
you
of this
gain
province.
experience,
Okay.
and thus the means to develop.
And you get, of course, guidance and tutorials.
Buildings have
let's
been
say.
damaged in the recent battle.
Yeah, so
Repair.
building repairs. So now I have the settlement, but I mean, during the siege, and it's this one here, Sukkot, you can see that, two things were damaged. So I can actually say, okay, I want to spend some resources, and it will take, in this case, 1 turn to repair it. And also, I mean, for my food supply, I want to do that. You can, in some cases, there is an option to do like a instant construction, but that will cost you gold. And as you can see, gold, I don't have that much of it, and I have no income of gold at the moment. So probably best not to do that. Here there's a lot of stuff to see because there's like a lot of information. It gives you every turn. It gives you like an overview of what's happening in the world. In this case, I gained some weapons. There were a couple of battles in this turn. My character gained another rank, so I can actually do another point in a minute. And there were some victory objectives added. So that's things I can try to do. And it gives me also an overview reminder of, before I end my turn, for example, hey, you can actually upgrade 1 settlement. So maybe let's go there. Here we go. So that's this one. All right, let's upgrade that then. That will take 3 turns. I can also build outposts. So as you can see, this is actually 1 outpost. There's an administrative
Settlements
outpost.
are not the only points of influence and culture in the world.
So there's 4 types of outposts you can build. There's
boost your
military,
economy,
which is
help
either a
resupply
guard
armies,
post.
or provide shelter when
I need
crossing.
you to get away. A lookout post in this case, or a fort. And so, those have different functions. So the lookout post actually has a garrison, so actually it can slow enemy armies down a bit more effectively. The fort actually just, you can hide in there, you can put your army in there, and they will be a bit more, tougher to beat. Administrative, it will have some other bonuses like influence, for example. Economic, which again will give some economic bonus, or religious, so that will give you a religious bonus. So you can choose, but every one of them costs resources to build. So I'll build
Our
one
latest
here.
outpost
That
is
will also
complete,
take,
and our
there you
trade
go, 3
stands to
turns.
benefit from its function.
And I still have a lot of outposts that I can build here, but and in the end that's actually a pretty good thing to do, because in the end the more you wander in the desert, your units will take attrition, let's say, so they will actually take damage.
Destined for greatness.
Let's level my guy up as well. This is actually quite useful because in the end I want this attribute here, which actually lets me, it's called Sandwalker, but it actually lets me not take damage when walking through the desert. So that's quite useful. So my troops will actually not take any kind of damage just by walking through the desert. Okay, and then I can actually end my turn. And as you can see here, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually. So
That's very
6
difficult to
seasons.
see. One moment.
Sorry?
It's difficult to see.
Oh, okay.
Like this.
Yeah, that's at the bottom right here. So there's actually 6 seasons that complete a year. So as you can see, there's Akhet, flood season, which is what we're in right now. Then there's the second flood season. I don't know. Or yeah, Pered, growth season. There's 2 growth seasons, and then there's 2 harvest seasons. But basically, ending 1 turn will just take me to the next one, and then it will display, whatever I can see, like the factions I'm either allied with in this case, or factions that I see, whatever they're doing, I can actually see their troops moving and stuff like that. Okay, and then here again it will tell me, okay, so we've constructed fishing grounds in this case. I can see my provinces here, or some of the provinces, known factions. So here it will again tell me what I can still do this turn. There's diplomacy as well, which is
Which
showing.
we don't need.
Well, no, you kind of do, because in the end, you want to have, like, you know, we are currently allied with this faction.
In the name
which
of
in the end
duty.
can be quite strong or weak, but it can at least be very
So they can also fight for you.
very useful. They can fight with me. It depends.
Okay,
You
yeah.
have there's different types of agreements and things you can do in terms of diplomacy. So there's a non-aggression pact, basically. So basically, you just promise not to attack each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
There's military access, which allows you to. I mean, you can walk through other
Areas.
factions' lands anyway.
Yeah.
But then, if you do that without asking permission first, they will dislike you for that, because hey, why are you walking your armies through my land? That's not a positive thing. You can have a defensive alliance, so that basically means only if one of you is attacked. It's like NATO.
I think we need to go to the right.
Sorry?
To the right. What's the? No peace. Yeah,
No,
this
so there's
military
defensive
alliance.
So you only get involved if your other alliance member gets attacked,
Yeah.
or you get
Yeah,
attacked.
click this one.
Military alliance is indeed like, you know, anything. Also, if you're attacking, they will attack with you. Confederation, this is like annexing, I guess. So it's basically you're asking that faction to join your faction. You're asking them to submit to you. And there's a general peace treaty. This is actually quite difficult because, okay, say I wanted to have the strength, right? So let's say I have the strongest faction, which is this one. That's the
Kemet is
current
under
Pharaoh.
my protection.
Say I wanted to have a military alliance with them, so I need to first start
Through
negotiating.
me,
Okay,
you have the
fine,
goodwill
they're
of
open
an
to it.
empire.
And as you can see here, there's it actually shows you with a minus in this case how willing they would, how much they would be willing to consider each of those things. So, like a non-aggression pact, yeah, that's probably workable, but I still need to give them or offer them something in return. If I want, for example, a military alliance, like you say, that's a big penalty. So that means I will have to, for example, well, in this case, I can say I want to offer an ultimatum. So if you don't accept that, I will attack you. That's an option.
I don't think we should do that.
No, probably not, because they're way stronger than we are. But what you can also do, for example, is say, okay, let's set up a barter agreement, and that can be a single, like a one-time payment, let's say, to kind of say, okay, maybe you'll accept it. Maybe this isn't a good example because I'll never make this
Skeet's
work.
saying when you confederate, you also get control of their arms and territories.
Yes. Yeah, basically you just, again, you
swallow
annex
them.
kind of. Yeah, that's right. So a single barter in this case, for example, if I really wanted to have like a non-aggression pact with them, I could see, and at the bottom right here it actually shows me, this is again difficult to see for you guys, but it actually tells me what which resources, for example, they are most interested in. So they're interested in gold and bronze, and not interested in stone, so they won't want that. So basically if I offer them any amount of bronze, for example, and some gold, I need to click a bit, but you can see the counter in the middle, in the top middle is going down from -5 or something to a bit less. But it's still, it costs me quite a lot, as you can see. And that's just for a non-aggression pact. So getting them to accept like a military alliance, I mean, I would need to offer them this much already, like 1,200 bronze and more than 200 gold, of which I only have 800. To kind of get them to accept that. So I'm not going to do that. That doesn't sound like a good deal. But there's a lot of stuff you can do here indeed. You can offer to join a war that they are currently in, for example. You can declare a war on them. You can even embed an informant so you get more information about them and you can see their moves, but that costs money. So yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff you can do with the diplomacy. And again, it's quite useful sometimes. Okay, let's see. Let's maybe move on to take the next city as well, because hey, then we'll have our province. I can still upgrade something. It tells me that's great. I need to build that winery because that one will really boost my my workforce when it's done. And then can I build one here as well? No, but I can build a Senate house. Okay, let's do that. Okay. And then let's move my general
Boundless
to
ambition.
here.
Hit the
I'm not sure
party.
if he'll be able to make that in one turn, but looks like it. Yes. Okay, there we go.
Glorious battle.
So now I can take this city as well. I can either encircle it, because I can try to starve them out. So there's 2 turns remaining until the garrison starts suffering attrition, meaning they probably, their numbers will decrease. So I could wait them out. Or there are like 9 turns left until the settlement would outright surrender because they've run out of food and stuff like that. But I mean, 9 turns is quite long. So looking at these odds, I'm just gonna auto resolve it because I just want to get the city. There we go. That's quite brutal. But then again,
Glory is mine.
okay, I lost some men, not that many. So that's nice. And then again, I can, in this case, I can occupy the settlement.
Establish
And
order.
now I have,
The gods have blessed me.
I actually have the full province. So it also tells me now, I can see here, this whole patch of land is now me. So this is why it's called map painting as well, right? You're painting the map in that particular color. Let's rotate it, because for me it always throws me off. I need to have it like this. And so now when I select my province, all of these settlements are mine. And I can build stuff in them. I can, let's see, anything broken? Yeah, here there's, in the battle, stuff was broken, so let's repair that. Fishery as well. And now my food income, for example, they get increased. But if you can see here, happiness, it's minus 22 at the moment. And that's because, we've been conquering some of these regions. They're not happy about that, of course. And that will take time to go down, but it's still at 26, so I can. It takes a few turns for stuff to get really, each level of happiness declining, for example, will have some debuffs, let's say. So, for example, workforce growth decline and construction time increase and stuff like that. Conversely, if you manage to get the happiness up, you actually get way faster workforce growth, but also higher morale for troops when you recruit them. So it's actually well worth doing. Influence is also here, so also there are some modifiers, mostly on your resource gathering and resource construction. But you can also, for example, if I want to temporarily increase the happiness a bit faster, what I can do is this toggle here, it says taxation. So I can actually say, no, let's stop taxing them for now. But
Never
if I
do
do
that.
that, if you look at the top, I have 0 food income suddenly. Actually, not 0, there is still some income, but now I have a negative. So next turn, that means it will reduce. Also the same for bronze, and I mean wood is still going, but. So it's possible. I can choose to do that, and that goes for the whole region. So that's just you can only do that for the whole province. And then there's another thing. There's a lot of layers of complexity here. So here's also something you can do. It's a commandment. So basically like a small boost of something. In this case, I want to boost the happiness because I want to get that up quickly. So I will choose that. That doesn't really cost me anything, but it will help to boost that up. Let's see, can build something here. Yes, let's build also a Senate house here, again also for the happiness increase. And then what else can I do? Oh yeah, my character, of course, my character has increased in level again because I did another battle. So here we go.
Blessed by the
Level up.
gods.
Let's add one. I need one more and then I can get the Sandwalker ability. So. Yeah, so as you can see, there's a lot of other cities and stuff around here. I guess this is Jerusalem. It's probably Jerusalem. Would later become Beersheba, Ashkelon. So these are more like the Canaanite factions. Here are the Egyptians, other Egyptian factions. So at the beginning of the game, that's pretty much what you're doing, and you're trying to expand your territory. As you can see, I have 0 gold income, 0 stone income. So those are things I would probably want to prioritize at some point. The nearest stone would be this city, for example. So I could take this, or I could head down here. But then I would have to first go through either one of these factions. So yeah, that's something you can do. But that's all, again, you know, this is like, it
The
takes time.
future of Egypt.
And as you said, Eric, right, you were asking about unit experience and stuff like that. As you can see, this unit is now rank 3, so that means it has built up a lot of experience already. And it can keep gathering experience to, I don't know what the max rank is, like 7 or something, what I've seen. So yeah, let's end this turn as well. Let's fast forward. There you go. All right, so this is turn 3. And so basically this, you're going from turn to turn. And most of the time, I found myself at least spending in this, you know, the map mode. Oh, look at that. There's a... Oh, you guys don't see that. There's something actually popped up on my monitor that says MSI OLED Care Panel Protect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you
So
guys can't see it.
You're playing too long.
No, it's more like it's trying to...
Pixel shift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna cancel it for now because I'm not gonna be on here for that long. But yeah, I mean these
Oh,
monitors.
tomorrow we have a burn an OLED monitor, Peter. Don't cancel that.
These monitors, indeed, but they have like built-in
Don't try this
protection.
at home, guys. It's not our sample. We have to give it back.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why we can damage it.
Because it looks really nice. And again, like we've done a live stream about this monitor before. So if you want to know more about it, you can actually look it up in our live stream. Playlist, I think it is, and that's where the QD-OLED monitor, the MEG, what is it, 342C QD-OLED monitor.
Yeah.
You can find that there. But yeah, this is basically your gameplay, and as you can see, some other faction that I didn't even know about got destroyed apparently in the process of ending the last turn.
Nice. The weather. You see the sun, the moon,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. There is a day and night cycle, so as you can see, very slowly.
Yeah.
And once it gets a bit more into the night here, you can actually see there's like lights in the cities as well. These cities, by the way, the ones that got circles around them, those are, there's a reason for that. Those are what are called the pillars of civilization. And when they get, you basically want to capture some of them at least because they give like a big bonus as well. But yeah, those are quite important for the game. And once they fall, those are like key cities in terms of the international trade and stuff like that at those times. It's not showing something yet here. Probably will show in a couple of turns. Let's see if I can get it to show up. Maybe when I complete 1 year. Oh look, my royal decree is working. Some influence. Because some of the options here are not yet available, as you can see, like deities or religion, the court, which comes into play once there's a civil war in Egypt, power of the crown, which also again you can basically challenge to be the pharaoh, and ancient legacy, which is basically some more information about what happened in the past, like historically. Let's maybe move
Chosen of Ra.
to my capital first.
Set up patrols.
And then we still have some stuff we can do. So let's.
So maybe Peter's going to do a 24-hour non-stop live stream.
Yeah, but
about
I mean,
this
is you can imagine, right? If this is the pace, that's what Todor meant when he said, "Look, this. If you really want to play a campaign, it's not like okay, I've got an hour, I'm going to do a campaign and I can win." No, this takes a long time, and there's a hell of a lot of stuff to look into and to
Consider any diplomatic
oh, look, somebody is actually
well. Does it serve your
another
goals?
clan is
Do
approaching
you wish
me
to negotiate
with
further,
a proposal.
or just send them on their
So
way?
they're saying they demand, and this is like 7 turns. So each turn they want 56 wood, and in return they would provide me one-time bonus of 70 food, and then each turn 278 food on top of that. Now if I look at my wood, yeah, I have pretty decent wood. And my
Leeward is saying today is a long stream.
yeah. But
Well,
actually,
that's Peter talking.
I have a lot of food income, so I'm not that interested in this one, so I'll cancel it. But you know, by accepting these things, I could also see it as like increasing my relationship with some of these factions. In this case, I'm just gonna reject offers. And here I can choose ambition. So it's like a mission, let's say, of you know, what you're doing at that point. So what I can do is, for example, construct a building that focuses on getting gold
Foresight
income.
is the mark of a
I'll
great
do
ruler.
that and I have like 10 or 12 turns to do that. Let's see when it
Ramesses
starts
the
to.
Bold.
You know, this game, it looks really interesting and it looks complex.
It is.
So you really need to take the time, and I saw there were enough tutorials and help things
Yep.
to get to know all the mechanisms of the game.
Yes. Well, if you want to get the most out of it, then yeah, it takes a couple of playthroughs probably to really get on top of things. It's Shemshuhor, which basically means the harvest season. So here it tells you pillars of civilization, state of the world, and the prosperity of major cult centers, which are those cities with the circles around them, local deities, commands, royal traditions. Here we go. So this is the thing that he was talking about as well. So there's an indication here of the state of the world, let's say. So this goes basically to the Bronze Age collapse. So as you can see right now, we're on the right here, and it's on the lighter side of things. So that means we are in the prosperity, season or historical period. Here's a bit more information about it as well. But once we go down more to the left, and this will happen as the game progresses, the Bronze Age collapse basically will happen. So those events, like sea peoples will be coming on their boats and with armies trying to invade us. We get earthquakes, we get crops failing, we get all kinds of stuff happening.
Plague.
Sorry?
The plague.
Yeah, plague, yeah. Locusts, you name it. You know,
Everything what was in the Bible.
Flooding, storms, all kinds of things happen. But at the moment, it's going quite well. And so, yeah. But that, you know, once those things start happening, it will go into a crisis situation, meaning things will get harder. People will, you know, be trying to migrate, and it will present all kinds of challenges. And once it gets to the collapse phase, basically that means that you can pretty much, you know, your options for trading will diminish, because you know, other settlements starting from the north probably will stop existing, let's say, or stop communicating.
Is that Turkey or Greece?
Yeah, this is Turkey.
Yeah.
So this is Greece here, and so this is Cyprus.
Yeah.
Cyprus was also a really important island when it comes to making bronze and copper mining. They had huge amounts of copper. So yeah, and this is all historically accurate pretty much. So you had all these cities and these factions. Yeah. And so that's basically what you're doing. So right now we're trying to make our position better, let's say. So ensure that we have all kinds of resources, and then raise more armies and become bigger. And then slowly gobbling up the rest of Egypt, because in not too long, a couple of turns, there will be a civil war that happens, meaning pretty much everybody will be challenging each other to become Pharaoh, to become the dominant faction. And so we need to try to either become the dominant faction, or at least one of them, and become stronger. And then in the end, once we've conquered Egypt and we're the Pharaoh, we are in a better position to kind of offer resistance to the Bronze Age collapse situation, let's say, because we will have a bit more control over what happens. And yeah, but this is like a very long process indeed, and it will take several hours, a lot of hours to get there.
Imagine that.
But yeah, it's an amazing game if you have the time for it. And again, like just the way it looks and it plays, and the way that they've made everything. You can zoom right down into the, you know, all this detailed landscape. It's really nice. And also each settlement, like, you know, this settlement looks different than, for example, the Egyptian. So this is a Canaanite settlement, and then if you look at Egyptian settlements, that's actually a smaller one. Here's one with walls, for example.
Yeah.
So, you know, this looks distinctly Egyptian, of course.
Yeah.
The landscape changes, of course, around the Nile Delta. It's way more green, as you can see. right? So there's a lot of farming and trees and stuff, and then outside there's more desert. And I mean the Nile, you can actually use the Nile also for a bit more quick transportation, which was actually how it was used in history as well. You could sail up and down the Nile, which was much faster on boats than actually walking through the land. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then there's of course the Red Sea here. Yeah.
Shall we do one last giveaway?
Yeah.
Let me see. Draw winners, so I can go.
If you have any other specific questions about the game, please let me know. I mean, it's yeah. Again, like what I really like about it as well is you have so much replayability. So once you play the campaign once as one character, you can easily just either on that same character play it a completely different way, or choose a different character if you want to be one of the Canaanites and just basically destroy everything, or you know, that's all possible, which is really cool.
Last winner for today.
Yes.
Alejandro.
It's probably Alejandro, yeah, but the L is a 1. So A1 Alejandro. Congratulations.
Yeah. Alejandro.
You also win one of the a copy of the game, and we'll send it out to you as soon as possible.
So your family will not see you anymore for the coming months.
yeah, probably. I could get very lost in a game like this. That's definitely true, and I probably would lose track of time pretty damn quickly. I have, because I've played this game in the past couple of days to at least get some idea of what the game is about, how it plays, the mechanics. And
Skier saying so it's only Egypt that you can play for now?
No. Actually, that's why at the beginning, and I will just go back to the main menu. Not save the campaign. I
think that's this one.
Oh, that's. You broke something?
No.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. No, if you then make a new game, for example, so indeed these are Egyptian factions, so these are all inside Egypt. But you also have the Canaanites. Oh,
I don't see.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Only the strong
Wait,
survive.
I'll go. So these are you can choose from 4 Egyptian
all.
factions.
It's something weird.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why this is
back.
happening.
It's not back anymore.
This is weird.
Make a screenshot.
No, but I mean, there's 4 factions, right? So these are all the Egyptians, and then you have Canaanites,
Who
which again,
dares to
that's this
challenge
region
me?
here. There's 2 factions that you can play, and then there's the Hittites, which again, I'll wait until the image is back. Here we go.
That's
Which is more like
Syria.
Turkey, Anatolia, and there are 2 factions there as well. So you can actually choose from.
I
How
serve
many are
the
they?
people of Hatti.
It's like 8 factions, I believe, at the moment. Of which 3 major themes. So Egypt, Canaanites, and Hittites.
Doesn't work like it should be.
Anyway, no, you can actually, so you can choose a lot, and as Todor said, so the game director, there will be DLC probably at some point, and I mean, if we look at past DLCs, it's likely they might add some new factions or some interesting events. Depends.
Yeah, well,
he
he
didn't specify, but usually those DLCs add things like that. Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, next week we're going to talk about voice mod.
Yeah, through voice mod.
And true voice mod, indeed. Yeah.
Wait. So you're actually do you mean talking with voice mod as in using the program, or you're talking to somebody from voice mod?
Both.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. And
So
voice mod is not only like a voice changer program, it's also like a soundboard.
Yeah, they have
you
a lot
can
more.
type, convert it to audio. It's really fun program.
Pretty cool. I've played around with it a little bit. You can try it for free.
Yeah.
Right? There's a free version, and then there's a pro version.
But
which
free version has
unlocks a lot of
limitations.
extra
You cannot
features.
download all the voices, etc.
There's even some AI involved there, isn't there?
Indeed.
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
Yeah. So thank you for joining today. I hope to see you next week.
Congrats to the winners.
Congrats to the winners. You will get a nice game.
Oh yes. You will probably get lost.
Yeah, like we warned you. We warned you.
Exactly. Anyway,
See you
thanks
next
for
week.
joining, and see you guys next week.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.